podcast, Breaking the Silence Together. For those that don't know who I am, my name is Jeannie Perez, and I am the founder of You're Not Alone. It's a mental health and addiction organization supporting and helping individuals in their journey of struggling with mental illness or an addiction. And today's podcast is going to be about healing. And when I say healing is, most of the time, everyone looks at healing as it's supposed to be a straight line. So today's podcast is going to hit home with a lot of individuals, not just individuals that have dealt with this themselves, but also family members that have seen their loved ones go through this, or caregivers that have walked through this journey with their loved ones or someone that's close to them. Again, healing is not linear, and what most of the time that we're not being told about the relapsing, the regression, and the restarting all over again, when a lot of individuals relapse. And I'm sure that this episode might be a little raw, because I'm just going to say the facts of how I see it, the facts on the feedback that I was getting back from individuals that I spoke to upon this episode before speaking on this today, because I normally like to get a little of my research before I talk about anything or take a step on anything. I always like to get my research on this first, on anything that I talk about, because like I said, knowledge is power, and it's always good to know more, because you're always going to learn more. Everyone educates different. Everyone sees things in life in a different way. So it's always nice to get different feedback from individuals who either went through the situation, or dealing with the situation, or someone that's helping someone else with the situation. So I like to get feedback in every way, in every which way that I can, so that when I do either educate someone on it or I have a conversation with someone, I can bring different types of scenarios on behalf of that topic, because we're all different. We all deal with stuff different. We all heal. We all relapse when that happens to us in a different way, different triggers. And when we restart again, all over again, we all do it in a different process. So with that being said, I want to go ahead and say that if this is something that is hitting home with you, or this is something that you're going through at this moment, or you've done it and it's happened to you and you don't know how to restart all over again, this episode is definitely for you. I normally give a couple scenarios, and I'll give a little tools and resources that I think can help individuals out, and hopefully shine a light on someone either to go ahead and get help and understand that you're not a failure because you relapse. You're not a failure because you have to restart a couple times. That's just part of healing. Sometimes things happen to us in different stages for different reasons. Okay, we're all different. So it's not going to always look the same for all of us. Some of us might take almost the same steps, but we don't get the same results. Some of us might, the whole process be different and get a total different result. With that being said, I just want to say that, let's break the myth. Because I know a lot of times when we hear, oh, she's healing, or he's healing, or he's in recovery, he's doing good. We always see the sunshine of it. We always see the spotlight of what's healing, or what's getting help, or what's getting recovery. Like you'll see on social media, or you'll open up a magazine, or you'll talk to your neighbor, you'll talk to someone, and when they're talking about recovery and getting help and starting all over again, someone that's going to get help for mental illness, or someone that's went into a detox for addiction, we're always hearing the good part of it. We're never hearing the facts, the truth on what that person goes through when they're trying to start this process of healing, when they try to start this process of getting detoxed from an addiction, process from a breakdown they had. We're never hearing the truth of what that what that individual goes through. I apologize for that phone. It's a team member of mine that left it on. I'm so sorry. Apologies for that. We never hear the truth behind the scenes. You know, what is it that we go through? What is it that they go through? Because, you know, us as family members, and we have a loved one that's in recovery, or we have a loved one that's healing from a mental illness or a mental breakdown, we're all struggling with the same thing. We're all healing together. We're all fighting for them to get better. So we also go through the same process with them, not dealing with their pain and their triggers and the emotions that they're dealing with at that moment, but we're dealing with it in a phase that we're sticking by them. So every little episode they go through, we're feeling it inside. So what I'm saying is, you know, if you're trying to heal, if you're trying to, you know, get the help for your mental illness, or you're trying to figure out how to get help with your addiction, or you have done this and you feel as though you failed, but no, you didn't fail. You know, I want you to know that it's okay, because we're not, like I said, we don't always hear the truth. We don't hear the pain that an addict goes through when someone is addicted, you know, not an addict, but someone that's addicted to some, you know, street drug or pills or medication, whatever it is they're addicted to. We don't hear that pain, that struggle that they go through. You know, waking up in the morning where they can't even move. You know, they can't go to sleep. There's days where they can't sleep while they're in detox. You know, the throwing up, the pain they get in their stomach. You know, some people go through these body, you know, breakdowns for days, sometimes for a month. Who knows? It all depends on how strong that addiction is. So we don't hear that. You know, and for this person, this individual, to keep pushing every day, even though they're throwing up, even though they can't keep nothing down because it's coming out the other end, or they can't sleep for days because they're going through these withdrawals. You know, we don't hear that part. But they're going through this. It's real. You know, they're strong. They're stars. They don't realize that because they're going through it. So if you went through this, I want you to know you're strong. You know, give yourself an applause, because this is really a lot on your body. You know, who cares what the other people are saying? You know, you're going through this, you're showing up for yourself every day. You're dealing with the pains within your body, within your mind, your soul, when you're trying to heal, when you're trying to get the help. You know, so just because we don't hear really what's going on behind the scenes when someone with mental illness is healing, or someone with addiction is healing, it doesn't mean that it's not real. It doesn't mean that it's not valid. And if this is you, I want you to know that your pain is real. Your emotions are valid. You know, so keep pushing. And okay, it's human that sometimes we try to help ourselves. We get all the help that we need. We sign ourselves into these detoxes, or we sign ourselves into a mental, you know, hospital that can help us a little bit more because we need more of a one-on-one help. And then we do the whole process while we're at this facility, and we come home and things trigger us. Our mind starts running, even no matter how hard we're trying. You know, you're probably saying, Jeannie, I tried. I went to every meeting they told me to go to. I took the medication like they told me to do. I stood away from certain things that they told me to do. I just did everything A to Z like I was told. But I relapsed. I couldn't take it. And I want you to know that you're not alone. That is human. And the reason why individuals go through that is because our brain, our nervous system, still feels like you're not in a safe place. Your nervous system is in a shock because you just put your body through a whole different system. You're going through a whole different process. You're restarting your whole body all over again from mind to soul. And that takes time. That takes process. That takes you really every day trying a little bit at a time. None of us are perfect. So it happens. And it's okay. if you're listening to me and this is something that happened to you, you did everything you were told to do, you kept reaching out, you followed the process, you came home, or it just didn't work out, you just couldn't stick with it, and things fell through the crack and you winded up back where you started, I want you to know it's okay. It's okay. Because like I said, it's okay to not be okay. We're human beings. This is stuff that happens. This is life. You know, some of us are not strong enough to really fight back some triggers. Some of us, our mind, no matter how hard we trying, we just give in to these different thoughts. We give in to these triggers, and things happen and we relapse. We're back to A, looking for that help all over again. You know, trying to figure out ourselves. Where did I go wrong? What did I do? How did I get here all over again? It's all natural. It's things that just happen. Unfortunately, it's just stuff that happens to us, and at that moment we have no control over it. And we're back to square one, looking for the help again. And I want you to know it's okay to restart. It's okay. I don't care how many times it takes you to restart and try it again. I'm telling you right now, continue to do it. If you got to restart 20 times, do it 20 times. It don't matter. Because 20 times you're showing up for yourself. 20 times you're pushing. You're not failing. You're pushing and you're restarting and you're showing up for yourself again and again and again until your nervous system and your body just connects. Sometimes our body, and we're so disconnected from ourselves that it takes more than just a couple tries to get where we were trying to get to. That's just how it is. It doesn't mean that we're failing. It doesn't mean that we're not good enough. It doesn't mean that we're not trying hard enough. It doesn't mean that we don't want to change. It just means that right now at this moment, it's not working out. It's not, things are not falling in place as I want them to fall in place. They're not falling in place the way you want them to fall in place. And that's life. But I want you to know that it's important that you don't give up on yourself. And it's no shame to try over and over, restart over and over, and keep showing up for yourself over and over. There's no shame in that game. There's no shame in that process. Because there isn't. You know, people might say, oh, but Jeannie, but how am I going to keep restarting over and over and keep going to these facilities over and over? They're going to think that out of real, I'm just playing. No, they're not going to think that. You know why? Because these facilities, these professionals are used to dealing with these kind of emotions. You're not alone. This is happening over and over to many of people, billions of people in every second of the day. It's happening. Because that's how we are. That's how our bodies are built. That's how our minds are built. We're not perfect. We're just not. No one's perfect. AI is not perfect. A robot's not perfect. A computer's not perfect. We definitely not perfect. It's just life. And we have to do as, like I said always, we got to love ourselves. We got to come in tune with ourselves. And keep showing up for ourselves. Regardless on how it's showing on social media, how it's just blowing up sunshine, it's healing, you know, recovery. Everyone's smiling, everybody's doing so good, everybody's doing this, they doing that when they in recovery. It's okay, I applaud and I'm happy for the ones that have a straight line recovery. You know, they have a straight line healing. Hey, I'm happy for them because that's who I am. I'm supporting you. I'm supporting 200% mental illness and drug and addiction regardless. You know, I'm supporting you regardless on how your recovery or how your healing looks for you. Because like I said, it takes a process. You know, it's not going to happen overnight. And your process might be where you need to keep restarting because things happen and you're back to square one again. You know, maybe it's triggers that you're giving into. Maybe it's the people that you're, you know, affiliating yourself with on a daily basis. Maybe it's just your actions. Maybe it's something that you're dealing with and you're coming back to that same situation when you come, you know, you go away trying to heal from that situation, but you're coming back to it. Sometimes some people are not strong enough to be around the same situation that they try to get help from. So these are the kind of things that you have to figure out. You know, you have to figure out, why are you trying so hard but you're not getting the results that you want. You're not being able to have that healing. You're not being able to recover 100%. You're not being able to go on with your life the way that you wanted when you went out and you reached out for that help. We have to really take in place on what's going on with our life. We have to really, really say, okay, I know that I'm trying to run away from this, but it's going on in my household. So every time I come back, I'm going to be surrounded with this. Maybe I need to step away from that household. Maybe I need to really start learning how to block stuff out and be strong. That no matter who I'm around or what I'm doing, I'm not going to do it because I said I'm not going to do it. I'm done. Sometimes it takes that. Sometimes it just takes, incorporating different things into your life and not come back to the same routine that you did before you got the help. We have to really understand our actions. We really need to understand why things don't work out the way they need to work out for us. And I know that I've said this hundreds of times. I know it's hard for some people to really understand themselves. And I get it because I've seen it. I've dealt with people that feel like this, where they don't understand themselves. And they've been dealing with this feeling for years, where they don't even know how to explain their situation, which is their own situation. And it's real. And people really do go through this. So if you are that person that really, really can't put together the pieces of what's going on, why things are falling the way they are falling on your lap, why you're trying to reach out for this help but nothing is working out for you, reach out to us, or reach out to someone in your community. Reach out to someone that you feel safe with, that you can have this conversation with. Because I always say, talking with someone, sometimes you'll find a different way how to do things. Sometimes you'll find that help and that support you never thought was there for you. And like I said, you'll never know. You might talk to someone that was going through the same situation that you're going through right now and can bring to light to you something that they tried or something that they did to help them out. So, sometimes talking out stuff with other people, it's not just you venting and telling them, being embarrassed because you're telling somebody what you went through. Because you never know. Somebody might be able to help you that went through the same situation. They might be able to give you some tools and resources also, or help you, give you some phone numbers, give you some names that you can reach out to that can help you, that maybe help them. And if you don't have no one to talk to, or you don't feel safe with no one, get online, get on my website. We have everything that you can think of to help you out. You just need to reach out and try to figure this out. And if you need someone to figure it out with you, reach out to us. Because, like I said, when someone is ready to get the help and they're ready and they've tried it and it just keeps falling through the cracks for them, it doesn't mean that they're failing. It doesn't mean that they're a mess up. It doesn't mean that they're not trying hard enough. It doesn't mean that it's not meant for you now. What it means is that you need someone to help you, guide you through this, and figure out what is the root that's bringing you back to square A. Because it's something. It's something that's bringing you back. Believe me, it's something. You might not be realizing this. You might not be realizing your actions. You might be giving into certain triggers and not even realizing because it feels like it's norm to you. Talk to someone. Reach out to us. Let us help you. Or let someone that you feel safe with help you. Share your situation with someone. Because you're already there. You want the help. It's something that's not letting you process this help in a healthy way. There's something that's stopping you from really recovering in a healthy way. And when I mean healthy is when you stay in recovery. You'll go to your meetings, you'll go to the process, you'll continue the plan that a professional has put in place with you and not fall back to square A when you started. I'm not saying that you're going to get through the whole process overnight, because you're not. But you're progressing every day, little by little. You're not going 2 or 3 steps back. You're going forward, and you're going forward with every step in a little step. That's progress. But like I said, everyone's progress is not a straight line. It isn't. Some of us might fall off a little bit, but jump right back on. You know, some of us might not feel like doing nothing today because of some reason, but then tomorrow we'll go and do what we need to do and continue our plan. It happens. Recovery and healing is not a straight line. But what is important is that you're going forward with your plan and not backwards. Because if you're going backwards, then you're not healing in a healthy way. And that's important. And that's what you want, to be able to recover from an addiction 100% and to heal from a mental illness, from a trauma, and be able to function on a daily basis in a healthy way. That's just, it's really important. It's really important that our healing within ourselves is healthy. Our recovery from an addiction is healthy. And these are just processes that we need to take little steps at every day to be able to keep us on that healing journey, you know, that healthy healing journey. Because like I said, it's not going to happen overnight, but it will happen little by little. You will see the difference, and you will be seeing what you want to see, because we're all different, but you will be seeing what healing means to you, what recovery means to you every day, little bit more and more and more, as you follow your process and you get to whatever is healing to you, whatever is recovery to you. And like I said, if it's not you that is dealing with this situation, but you've been supporting a loved one or a friend or someone that you know with this, and they're just trying over and over and they keep relapsing, and you're just getting overwhelmed with this because you feel as though you're getting tired of helping them, or you feel as though they don't really want the help because they keep relapsing, they keep doing the same thing over and over. You know, they've been going to this program for months, come back and they're back in the same square A. You know, I'm tired of it. Many of you, I'm sure, are saying that right now. Oh, I'm done with that person, I'm putting that person out, or I'm not talking to that person no more, I ain't helping that person no more. That's on them. I get it. I've heard it, I've seen it. But what I can tell you, I can't tell you what to do, because you're yourself. If you're a caregiver or you're a person that's seen this or dealing with this. What I can tell you is, as a supporter, I don't care if that person goes to rehab 100 to 1,000 times. I don't care. I'm still going to support that person. I don't care if that person has a breakdown and they just stressing every day and they're having different situations happening to them every day and they're coming at you with different things every day of their life. I don't care. I'm still going to support that person with that mental illness. That's me. That's who I am. Because we're all human and we all make mistakes in life. And just life is just not fair. You might not see it the same way that I do, but that's just who I am. I'm true colors and I'm raw, and I'm telling you that right now. It's real what they're going through. And yes, I think that everyone should be supported. No matter how many times they fall, they should be helped to get back up. That's just life. You know, you're saying that you're feeling exhausted or you're tired of helping this person, or they're just doing the same thing over and over. They don't want to be helped. They don't want to change. You can look at it whichever way you want. But I guarantee you that person does want help. That person does want to change. That person is just waiting for a miracle to fall in their lap with their health. Why? Because none of us, I don't care who you are. I don't care what type of lifestyle you live. I don't care what goes through your mind on a daily basis or who you are. But I'm telling you right now, nobody wakes up wanting to be a drug addict or addicted to anything that's running their life and they can't run their own life. No one wants to wake up and say, oh, I want to be suffering today from mental illness, from this trauma that happened to me. No one. Because everybody wants to live a happy life. No one wants to live in pain. No one wants to live in shame, because that's how they feel. There's nothing to be ashamed of, but that's how these individuals feel. They feel as though they're ashamed, like they're no better than, they're no good, because this person has this and they can't do it, no. So I'm just telling you as how I feel, how I am. I'm telling you, if you're giving up on this person, don't give up on them. Because they deserve life just as much as you do. because they are human being just like you. And if you're going through this, I want you to know you are worthy. Just the same way everyone else is able to wake up in the morning and be happy, you're worthy of that happiness also. You're worthy of a full life just like them. So keep showing up for yourself. If you have been doing this multiple times, restarting your life, going to different programs, getting the help, reaching out for the help, continue to show up for yourself until you eventually get where you need to get to. And everything falls in place for you. Don't give up on yourself. And if you haven't went through this yet, but you're thinking about getting help, but you don't know which way to go and you're scared of failing, I'm telling you right now, there is no fear. Heal over fear always. Because like I said, it might not work out the first time. You might be back to square A. Who knows? Or you might make it through that. First time you try, you might make it. You just never know. But if you don't give up. And go back and continue to reach out for help. No matter how many times it takes you to reach out for help, you continue to do it. Continue to show up for yourself. And with that being said, I just want you to know, there's always things that we can do on a daily basis to try to help ourselves. Little steps, not much. Just little tools. When you get too overwhelmed or over jittery, excited, your body's running out of your body, your own body, if you can understand that, make it sense, make it make sense. Or you just can't sit still, or you just need to come in content with yourself. You just need to grab yourself. Try some breathing methods. Just breathe in, hold it, and breathe out as slow as you can, and exhale all that doubt out. Everything that you don't need in your life, just exhale it out. It may be journaling will help you. Just journal. Just write out everything. No filter. Just exactly what's going through your mind. You just write that sucker down. Let it go. Sometimes doing stretches, doing some kind of art, yoga, exercising. Little things like that you can do at home. You don't even have to go nowhere to do these things. Just try it. See if that helps you out. Sometimes just running some different kind of sounds. And there's plenty of apps out there with different kind of sounds. Waterfalls, rain, all those little sounds like that, fan sounds. All that helps out. Try it. It might help you. Go on my website. I have plenty of tools and resources. Just download them. They're free. Try them out. They might help you. They might not. But they might help you. They're free. Download them. And if you're looking for something and it's not on my website, or you haven't been able to get your answer, but you really are trying to figure something out, reach out to us. We will get you what you need. Just reach out to us. All we need is your email address. You don't even need to say who you are or what's going on. Just say, look, I'm looking for this. I haven't got my answer. Is there any way that you can send me something that I can read in my own term? Just reach out to us. We'll get that out to you. Because like I said, I'm not here on this podcast asking anybody for nothing. There's nothing on my website that's going to ask you for nothing either. I'm just here to tell you and hopefully shine a light on someone that really needs this help. And just tell you, show up for yourself. That's all I need you to do, is show up for yourself. And if you need help in trying to really get where you need to get to, that's what I'm here for. Because if I can't give you the help that you need, or my team can't give you the help that you need, I'm going to find it for you. I'm going to get you where you need to get to, believe me. Because what I'm here for, what my journey is for, is to help others get where they need to get to, so they can live happy. They can live that life that they've been yearning for. I'm going to give it to you. I mean, I can't hand it over to you, that's for sure. But I can help you get where you need to get to. I can't live life for somebody else. Just like somebody else can't live my life for me. Where I'm at today, or who I am today, I had to push myself. I had to do that. And that's the same thing I'm telling you. No one else can do it for you. You got to let people cross that boundary with you to help you get where you need to get to. There's always someone out there that's going to be able to help you. There's someone might be right next to you right now that can help you. You just haven't opened up to them. Just reach out. The help is here. You don't have to go through this on your own. It's here. With that being said, I know my team members keep reaching out to me and telling me we're getting a call from, let me say, because I know I wrote it down. We've been getting a call today multiple times from area code 320. If you're listening, I hope you're listening right now. I'm not sure if you're calling from an app, but every time that your call was someone tried to pick up your call, it dropped. And I was told also from a team member that was on today, taking the calls at the times that you have called. They even tried reaching back out to you, but it's coming back as a disconnected number. So I'm thinking that you might be trying to reach out to us from an app. If you are, just letting you know, leave a message. Whatever it is, you have not left any messages. Or I think the best thing for you, if you don't have a working phone, or it's because you don't want to ask someone for a phone because you don't want them to know that you're reaching out for help, or you don't want them to know the situation that you're going through, email us. Go to my website. My website has our email address that you can email and just let us know what's going on. Yeah, you get the same messages from them that they try reaching out to you, but they're getting a disconnected. Yeah, disconnected. Your number's coming back to them disconnected. You didn't leave any messages, so they don't know what you're calling about. And they try reaching out to you multiple times because we don't leave no one hanging. But your number is not an active number. You're probably calling from an app. So go on my website and look at our. You have there's an email there for us that you can reach our team members on, and just let us know what's going on. I'm trying to see if anything else came through about you. Yeah, that's about it. And just reach out to us. You're not alone.online. If you don't know my website, that is our website. I know you're trying our number, but you're calling from an app. So just go on our website. You're not alone.online, and just email us or talk to us right there through the chat. We have a 24/7 chat box on our website. It's not an AI chat box. It's actually live chat box. You'll actually be talking with one of my team members through that chat box. So please feel free to have a conversation right on the chat box on our website. You're not talking to AI. You're talking to one of my team members live. So if it is that you're using an app because you don't feel comfortable asking someone for a phone, I don't know what your situation is, but just get them on my website. You're not alone.online, and talk on my chat live box or email us, and we will help you with whatever it is going on with you. Again, thank you to everyone that has been reaching out to us, showing us so much support. I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate it. Everyone's help with this movement that I'm doing. I really do appreciate it. I want to say, that this need for just support is needed so bad in this world. Just support, being able to talk to somebody or just reach out to someone and say, look, can you help me? It's needed so much in this world. Our numbers are going up so much, and I say this all the time because it's true, it's real. The first thing I look at every day is these numbers, the suicide, overdoses. I'm looking at these numbers. Why? Because that's what matters to me. That's what I eat and breathe every day, is helping these individuals with these situations. People say, like, Jeannie, why do you care so much? And I'll say the same thing over and over because this is home. This hits home for me. And I feel as though, no one else was there for my loved one when they were suffering with these different situations. I was there, of course. I was there. I was showing up 200% for this loved one. But I feel as though if I seen things that was going out there with no support from my loved one, I'm sure millions and millions of other people were going through the same thing. And that's why I had to figure out how I can help others, because maybe a lot of mothers, fathers, uncles, aunts, grandmoms, mothers, whatever it is, or you as an individual might not be financially capable like I was to be able to take care of my loved one and get them the best help. Not everyone can do that. So, and that's why I started this, because I want to be able to give that same help to someone else. You know, I don't want barriers up where people be like, oh, I can't afford the help, I can't get the help, so I just continue what I'm going through. No, I don't want to see that no more. I want these numbers to drop. I want everybody to be able to go to a decent facility if that's where they need to go to. I want somebody to get the best professional help that they can get. You know, I don't want them to just be scraped off and or pushed away or just give any kind of medication because they just want to say, oh yeah, you got mental illness here. Take this medication for the rest of your life. No, that's not what I want people to go through. I want people to really be seen for what they're going through. And I want them to be able to get the help that they really need. You know, not no jokester trying to help you and say, oh yeah, here, take this medication for the rest of your life. Or here, just go to the outpatients. No. I want someone that needs the help that feel like they're being heard, that they're being seen, that they're being connected. And that's why I'm here. That's why this podcast is here on a daily basis. That's why my organization has started. It would always be running with me here or not. Because this is what I put in place. I'm here to help. And if you feel the same way as I do, reach out to me. Let's make this movement stronger. I don't want nothing from you. I just want you to come on board with us. Help us make the movement stronger. That's it. I'm not asking you for nothing. Nothing else. You know, if you're running the same organization that I am, if you planning to do the same thing that I am, I say like I tell everybody. There's no competition, not from me. I'm not competing with nobody. I don't need to compete with no one. You know, it's not about us. It's about them. It's about being there for them, making this movement, making this organization, not mine, but the worldwide that has to do with mental illness and addiction strong, where no one can break it. Nothing can fall through the cracks. Not while we're on it. You know, that's what this is about. And if you're out there, I don't care where you at, you don't have to be in my community, you can be across the country. And if you're into, you know, you feel this, come on aboard. Reach out to me. If you want to volunteer your time, reach out to me. Let's make it strong. Let's help these individuals. Let's help that next person that's thinking right now about a second that we're talking, they want to take their life, they're done, they're tired of it. They have no help, they have no support. Let's help that person prevent them from taking their life. Let's help that person that's addicted to drugs. Every day their mind is getting worse and worse. They're just getting heavier on drugs, just taking more and more because they're trying to fade away from life. Let's help that individual from having an OD or going into a coma and waking up to a whole different person they don't even know. Let's help. It's not about us. It's about them. You know, if you want to volunteer and you really want to help out and your heart is where my heart is, reach out to me. If you're a licensed therapist, if you're a licensed counselor, if you're a licensed social service worker, or you just want to be an advocate, reach out to me. Because it doesn't matter where in the world you're at, you're able to help us. Because my tools and resources and my access are available worldwide. So no matter where you're sitting at right now, you're able to help. If you want. I'm saying this statement towards people that want to help. If you want to volunteer, if your heart is in the place that you want to support drug and addiction, you no longer want to see all these things that are falling through the cracks, people losing their life to mental illness, or things that are falling apart with addiction, people losing their life to addiction on a second by second. I'm not even going to say day by day. I'm going to say second by second, because that's how it's happening in our world. That's just life. And if you're in it with me and you feel as though the way I am, that you want to help without wanting nothing in return, because I'm not asking for nothing in return from no one. Not the individuals, not the people that want to come on my team. I want you to feel the same way. I want you to do this because you want to help. Not because you want something in return. You know, because that's not what my organization is about. Yeah, I stand by my people. Don't get me wrong. I stand by my team 200%. And my team members will never be without. But they're not expecting that from me. Because every last person that's on my team is a volunteer, and they're doing this because they want to help. But I stand by them 200% and they know it. But, and you know, I'm just saying, the reason why I'm saying is just, you as a volunteer, you want to come on. I want you to come on because you want to come on because this is something that you want to do. I don't want you to come on and be expecting anything back in return. You know, but a community, but a family. Because that's what we are. With that being said, I just want to end our note today with the individual that's been trying to get a hold of us. Please email me, get on my website, get on the live chat. I want to help you. I know you've been reaching out many times. Just come on, I can help you. I want to help you. I just need to know how to reach you. And for anyone that this episode really hit home with, if my episode today didn't answer all your questions, or you're still trying to figure stuff out, or you're trying to figure out stuff for yourself or for someone else, reach out to me. I will meet you on your journey wherever you're at. If I need to help you with some answers, I will do that for you to the best of my knowledge. If not, I will get someone that can help you with that. Whatever it is that you're dealing with and you really need more answers to. If you need the help, you just don't know how to get it, you don't know the first step to take, please reach out to us. Get on my website or DM me on this podcast. Whatever it takes, just get a hold of me. I am here for you. I'm going to help you. Reach out to me whichever way it takes. Show up for yourself. Just want to say thank you to everyone. I'm going to end it with my note, my statement. I want you to always remember this. It's okay to not be okay. And I mean that. I don't care what you're going through. It's okay to not be okay. It's fine. But what's not okay, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, and that's why I'm here. What's not okay is for anybody to ever think that they have to walk through this journey in the dark, in silence, alone. Thank you. Bless everyone and take care of yourself until next time. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow again at 6. I wanted to let everyone know our yoga session for today has been canceled due to the weather. The weather where I'm at right now is very hot. We're at 100 degrees. And I like to do my stuff out in nature. So I'm going to be canceling that today because of that. But I definitely will be showing up for you tomorrow. Thank you.